this presentation that we know is going to be able to help you.
So when it comes to building your health coaching business online, like what do you have to do? Like what is the roadmap? What are the steps that you have to take? And typically it follows something similar to this, where you implement tried and tested strategies. So, you know, in your case, you guys have those done for you programs. You guys have Kathleen's programs. They're ready to go. So that would be that step. You want to utilize new technology and tools that, you know, that are available to us now that weren't available to us a while ago, which we'll get into in just a bit. You want to build an engaged audience. You want to automate your program delivery, which means having things happen automatically. And once you have that in place, that's when you can scale things and start to grow. But we've seen a common recurring theme. And if you're a member of Kathleen's Facebook groups, I'm sure you've seen this. You know, there's people that struggle. They struggle with technology. It's, you know, I'm looking here. I've hit a roadblock with MailChimp, or, you know, I'm ready to bang my head. Like one thing I'm stuck, like how to collect the payment. I'm looking for tech help. So we saw that this was obviously an issue with people like health coaches, because as we mentioned earlier, this isn't something that necessarily everyone went to school with or feels very comfortable with. And when we talk about technology and the reason why people fail with technology, it usually comes down to these factors. And let us know in the chat if you suffer from one of these factors when it comes to technology. Maybe number one, you're intimidated by it. Maybe your lack of skills because you haven't trained on it. Fear of failure is a big one that we typically see, but really the biggest one here is analysis paralysis. There's just so many options out there. Like, what do you use? What do you choose? And you're worried about being a failure, and it's a vicious cycle. And yeah, I could see the chat box going off right now. Lack of focus is a big one. Some people give up too easily, and other people just try to do everything themselves and just don't have the time in the day. I know, you know, there's many people who are doing this as a side business, or maybe just getting started. Maybe you have a young family, and it's very difficult to juggle sometimes. So we've actually broken this down into 3 easy to implement strategies to overcome your tech roadblocks so you can grow your email list and launch your online done-for-you program.
The first strategy is to create a roadmap for your audience to be able to connect and buy from you. This usually happens, you hear people call it a sales funnel. We talk about sales funnels, and people are always like, well, what is a sales funnel? What is this to me? And I kind of just simply tell people that the definition of a sales funnel is the process that your person who doesn't know you at all goes through from becoming from a complete stranger to becoming a high value client, and the roadmap or the blueprint that they follow. So it usually goes lead magnet, then nurture, and then your program. So the sales funnel, you're first going to introduce yourself to new subscribers, thank them for subscribing. Then you're going to engage them and turn them into potential buyers. Then you're going to appeal to them as your ideal client, and then you're going to be able to sell them your program.
So typically, like when we think about a lead magnet, there's different things that you could think about. And when we say a lead magnet, the whole point of a lead magnet, quote unquote, is to get someone's name and email. It's like what we like to say, it's like kind of like getting someone to swipe right on your Tinder profile. It's just to get them interested in you. So some of the good things that are great to give away for lead magnets are guides. Maybe it's a free webinar. Maybe it's a quiz. Or maybe it's the 7-day Healthy Habits Challenge that Kathleen has available. Like there's so many different programs. The most important thing is that it has some value to your ideal client. At the end of the day, the goal of the lead magnet, once again, is at the very least is to get someone's name and email. Once you have the name and email, that's when you can actually start to nurture and engage the people. And this is typically done through different types of software, which we'll get into in just a bit. But the nurture engage is all about sending emails. It's about engaging on multiple channels and really just having it happen automatically for you. Because like anything, when you first meet someone, you know, you're not ready to take that next step, whether you're like just dating someone or whether you just met someone, a business associate. You got to warm up to that person. You got to understand what they're all about. You got to see if this is someone that you like and trust. So yeah, this is definitely where you can provide value and you can start to position your offer and then transition into sale, because the next part of your funnel is typically a sales page. And a sales page really is your core offer. It's what you want them to buy. It's you've gone past the, hey, you know, I'm Elan, you're Jane, Nice to meet you. Maybe you want to buy my program now. So you've gone through the, hey, how are you? You've nurtured, you've got to know each other. Now you're actually asking them to make a commitment in you and actually give you money for something of value to them. This is probably where you'd want to drop in something like the 30-day fit and healthy jumpstart or some other type of program. Maybe it's a signature program, whatever it might be. This is where you make that transition. And the next important part is being able to collect money online. Now, it doesn't sound very trivial to some people, but it can be. For some of you that might be using, PayPal or some of the different options to collect payments online, it could sometimes be a bit clunky. So what we like to do is whenever we set up a sales funnel or an online sales funnel for a program, we need to make sure that people can give you their money as easily as possible, with as little amount of clicks as possible, because when that happens, you'll actually see a higher conversion. The easier you make it for people to give you their money, the more they'll spend with you, and the more likely they will to actually spend that money with you to begin with. And what we want you to kind of wrap your head around is, what is your value ladder as a health coach, as a health and wellness practitioner? Where does your value ladder end?
So it's not just a value ladder, it's really a relationship ladder. Where does it start? It starts with an introduction. So as Elan said, it's like, yeah, I'm interested in learning more. And then the next part is the 30-day jumpstart. It's getting to know you and getting to like you more. Then it goes to your coaching with confidence program. Then it might go beyond the coaching with confidence program. What step on the ladder are you promoting, and what's the next step of the value ladder? So as much as it's a value ladder, it's also a relationship ladder. It goes from coffee to maybe a lunch date, to maybe a dinner date, to maybe dessert. I mean, that's the value ladder.
And then what you'll notice here is, as you go higher up the ladder, the more money comes into play, right? And really ask yourself, where does your ladder end? Does it end at your signature program? Does it end on your one-on-one group coaching or group coaching? Does it end in like your VIP mastermind? Whatever it is, really start thinking about that and really define it, because you want to have your value ladder and your different products in place.
I've actually heard someone say that if your top price product is $1,000, you should create a $5,000 product. If your top price is $5,000, you should have a $10,000 product. You should always be working on the next step of your value ladder, because at the end of the day, when the person finishes your Coach with Confidence program, they want to know what's next. Strategy number 2 is automatically deliver your programs. You want to be able to set it and forget it. Now, this comes with what we call marketing automation. Now, people always say, well, what is marketing automation? To me, marketing automation is just that things happen for your business automatically. Things happen for your marketing automatically. The whole point is that you don't have to be sending manual emails, and you don't have to be sending manual invoices. Everything for you and your business can be automated, so that way everything happens automatically. And it happens through what we call integrations. And people say, well, what's an integration? To me, all an integration really means is that your different platforms or your different tools are able to talk to each other. They're able to communicate with each other so that they know when someone fills out their name and email on your landing page, that the email autoresponder is able to deliver the lead magnet. And so the tools need to be able to talk to each other. So when we talk about integrations, it's really just your tools talking to each other. Next thing is your timely delivery of your programs. You want it to be a unique and personalized experience for each of your subscribers or buyers. So the timely delivery of your program allows you to make the same unique experience for each person, regardless of when they start your program. The other part of timely delivery of your programs is you're able to use your program to upsell the next step of your value ladder. So as you're delivering your program, you're able to say, hey, we're dealing with this now, but if you want to take the next step, that's in the next program. So in your program delivery, you're always able to then promote and ascend your client up your value ladder. Then the last thing that I really think is really big as far as the automation of your program is the data. The data is going to lead you to smarter decisions. People always ask, they say, what day is the best day to send my emails? What time is the best time to deliver my emails? Do I know if people are opening email 2 but not opening email 3, how do I know? And that comes from looking at the data. And using the tools that we recommend gives you the data that you need to make decisions that are essential for your business.
So when you put it all together and you talk about like a health coach sales funnel, it usually looks something like this. And if you follow me here, You have your traffic sources, whether it's Facebook, your website, Facebook ads, Instagram, whatever it is, and that goes to your opt-in page, your lead magnet. From there, you give them the delivery on your thank you page, which then pushes to the download, which then puts them into your nurture series. And the goal of the nurture series and your sales emails is to push to the sales page. And it's just this is the actual flow from top to bottom.
So there's a couple of things that we want to point out here. One is that on your thank you page, you invite them to follow you on your social media channels. So if you look at the box beside the thank you page, there's also your social icons. That's to be able to push into your social channels to grow your online presence. The other thing that I would say is that the delivery of your lead magnet is broken down into 3 separate phases. The first phase is indoctrination, the second phase is nurture, and the third phase is sell. The reason being is that indoctrination is getting to know you, getting to understand you, getting to like you. The nurture is you giving value, you being able to say, hey, I know what I am, and I'm the authority in this situation. The last part is the sale, pushing into your program. Yes, this is how we're going to take our relationship to the next level.
And then once they buy, then they go into your program delivery. Now, for those of you who actually stay till the end, we'll actually give you this map so that you can use this for, and maybe just slot in your own program and use it however you see fit. Then we talk about strategy number 3, and this is choosing the right tools. This is kind of where we're going to kind of move over into the tech side of things. And really, in layman terms, what you need when it comes to tech and your online programs for your health coaching business or your health and wellness business, you need something to be able to send emails. You need something to be able to display your lead magnet and offers or programs. You need something to accept payments. And then you need something to deliver your program. Because when you use the right tools, you have an advantage over the competition. Just to put a little quick story together, there was, when I was one of the businesses that I started about, I want to say 7, 8 years ago, we actually used the wrong tool when we got started for our CRM. We actually used a CRM called Salesforce, and maybe some of you have heard of it. It's a super duper powerful and complex piece of software, and it turned out to be the complete opposite of what we needed. Now, it ended up costing us all kinds of money to get it in place just to find out that it wasn't the right tool. But the most important thing is the biggest cost was the time that we wasted, like maybe 6 months of trying to set up Salesforce, only to find out that, hey, this is like, we didn't need the Porsche of all of CRMs, we just needed the Honda Civic. So, at the end of the day, the technology and the tools are there to make your life easier.
It's what's right for you, not what's right. It's not the best, it's what's best for you. And so, as Elon said, choose the right tools and get an advantage over the competition.
The good news is that you only need to have all of these tools to launch your online health coaching business. I'm joking, in case you can't tell. This is what we want to talk about is tools overload. There's so many different options. We talked about that earlier. There are, a million different things for landing pages. What do you use for email? What do you use for your website? What do you use for e-commerce? What do you use to take? And it could just literally put you into analysis paralysis, what we talked about earlier.
It's a real-time suck. You never know. You're always questioning. You're like, did I do this right? Where is this? I spent all this time learning MailChimp. Now I have to learn another one. So tools overload is a big deal.
So the good news is having worked with hundreds of health and wellness professionals, we've really kind of nailed this down into the essential tools that you could use today to get your online health coaching business going. Number 1 is for the lead magnet and pages. What we typically recommend is ClickFunnels or Lead Pages. Sure, many of you heard of that. For your CRM, you might be using like a MailChimp or an Aweber, which are all great, but we like ActiveCampaign. The reason is because of the price and because it's super duper powerful for people, for small, medium-sized businesses. When it comes for accepting payments, you want to be able to accept payments easily, and the best options available to a small business or someone who's just getting started is typically Stripe and PayPal. They work super easy. It's super easy to set up. Doesn't take a long time to get approved. You can literally set up an account, within 5-10 minutes. Now, before you start screaming and you're saying, but what if I don't use those tools? And you're looking and you're like, I want to wring my hands around this guy Elan's neck. I'm here to tell you, don't worry. As Joey said, there's no right or wrong way. Like, you can use different tools to accomplish the same goals. We're just saying that having worked with, over 100 health and wellness professionals and getting their online programs launched. Those are the tools that make it the easiest to get up and running, to make it easy to maintain on an ongoing basis. So to summarize, you really don't need a website. You don't. Like, to launch your online program, you need something for your lead magnet, you need something for your sales page, you want to maybe buy or maybe an upsell page to your one-on-one coaching, and you need a thank you page. You can build all these assets in ClickFunnels or lead pages. When it comes to your program delivery, your automatic emails, your list management, your email promotions, opt-in forms, ActiveCampaign can handle all of that. And as I mentioned, when you want to collect payments online, PayPal and Stripe are typically the go-to options. We typically like Stripe. The reason for that, it's a bit cleaner when it comes to checkout. I'm sure a lot of people on this call have bought something via PayPal, and it could be a bit clunky where you have to log in and you get taken away from the site. It's always best to keep people on the site rather than driving them off the site, because the more steps that those people have to take, as I mentioned earlier, the less likely they are to buy.
So at this point, I want you guys to meet Cheryl. Cheryl is part of Kathleen's group. She's in the Health Coach Solution and the Health Coach Peer Support. She's an active member. And when she came to us, it was before we had agreed to do this webinar with Kathleen, but at the same time, she was very well aware of the work we were doing with health coaches. She said, you know, I'm really good at technology. I'm really good at learning stuff. I am very tech savvy. I grew up with a computer in my house, but I still can't figure this out. I still need help. I still know what I have to do, and I can't get it done. Is there anything you can do to help me? So at this point, type into the chat if any of you feel like this, or even feel like you're even behind where Cheryl is. So either type in, yes, I'm like Cheryl, or I'm behind, type in behind, I'm behind Cheryl.
Yeah, we see a whole waterfall of responses here. Yes, overwhelmed, behind,
yeah. Behind. So yeah, the other person that I would want you to introduce you to his name is Thomas Wong. Kathleen mentioned him earlier on this call. And when I spoke to Thomas was like, you guys are awesome because I have all these things I want to do. I'm so excited about my online business. I'm so excited about getting launched. I'm so excited about my program, but I can't get it done myself. Like, I really need help. I really need to see how this all works, because in my mind, I understand it, but in my, like, conceptually, I want to be able to visually see it. And so when we were able to make it for Thomas, it was like he went nuts. He was so excited with it. He was so overwhelmed with it. He had so many great things to say about it. So at this point, who wants to see what some of these funnels look like and how these pages turned out? So type yes if you want to see the funnels. Elan, how about we see some funnels?
All right, let me pull up. I have some ready to go here. So going back to Cheryl, what we were able to do was put together a really nice landing page for her, and this is already in play. She's been using this for, what is it, 3-4 months now? 5 months?
3 months,
3 months. And she's starting to build her list. As you can see, it's a really nice landing page. You have your first name and email on for her lead magnet, and her lead magnet is the top 10 simple but proven steps to optimal health. Once you opt in, you go right into her lead nurture and engagement sequences within ActiveCampaign. You know, when you scroll, you could see their name and email stays on top. Really slick, like who she is, what her mission is. And then from there, people will actually go to a thank you page. And Joey mentioned this earlier. Thank you page is a great place to get social. So if you have a private Facebook group as part of your program, maybe it's a public group, this is a great place to grow that group. Maybe you're, pretty active on Instagram. Instagram is all the rage these days. There's a great way to engage with your Instagram audience and grow that. So you should always kind of be thinking about different ways that you could take people to that next step. From there, what we have, and let me just go right up to the top, is actually Cheryl's rendition of the 30-day fit and healthy jumpstart that she actually purchased from Kathleen. And what we did is we put together this great sales page.
So you can see the first program was Kathleen's 10 Steps to a Leaner and Healthier You. The second is the 30-day jumpstart. You can see how Cheryl's ascension ladder is coming together. You can also see that all the different graphics and images on the pages, what Cheryl gave to us when she was building this was the copy. So all the images, all the book covers, all of the different assets that aren't the copy are all part of this page where it was all done for her.
Now you can see she's gone in at a very low price, and she's using this as an entry point into her group and private coaching programs. And that's usually a typically good way to do that, is to have nothing that's going to be, you don't take someone from opting in to like a $2,000, 7-week, intensive. It's not going to convert. But if you take someone from an opt-in to like a $17 US investment, I mean, that's something that people will take advantage of.
The other thing is you have 30 days to like make them like you, make them trust you, make them understand that your mission and their missions are the same.
So then we come back to the order page. So we talked about how important it is to make it easy for people to, just take my money. We've done that here with this really nice order form where people can put in their name and email, their billing address, and then they can get started with the Balanced Bodies 30-day transformation. Put in your credit card number, your little security code, click complete order, bam, you're done. There's no going to PayPal. There's no logging in on an external site. You fill in your information. Everything's listed of what's coming. You have some social proof on the side. This is what converts.
Yeah, I was going to point out the social proof. The social proof is so important. As people are giving you their money, they want to know they're making the right decision. Having your testimonials right on the checkout page is a great way to reinforce that, yes, they're making the right decision. It's worked for other people, and it's going to work for them as well.
Then after that, we have our thank you page. And again, this links to her private Facebook group. This is populated once they push the order through. And this is a successful funnel. And this was, we were able to help Cheryl get this in place, and she's a happy girl now. And then if we want to look at Thomas, so we also talked about Thomas. This is something that we did for Thomas. Here is his lead magnet. These secrets will improve your health, energy, and burn 3 pounds or more fat within 7 days. Put in your name and email, everything above the fold, which basically means everything's above, so people don't have to scroll a whole lot just to be able to give you their name and email. This is a rendition of the 7-day healthy habits. He has like some of the big reasons that you want to opt in, a really nice ebook cover because that's what he's giving them. And little intro, he's put in a little great video here of who he is. It lets him warm up his audience, lets them get to know who he is. And I mean, Thomas, he is on the call, but I think he'll probably tell you in Kathleen's group that, his lists are growing, and that was stagnant for him before. From here, now Thomas is, a bit more of a tech ninja when it comes to it. He's doing cool things like, getting people into his health community, even doing stuff like messenger chats. Now that's super advanced stuff and it looks really cool, but could be pretty cool and useful for maybe your business. From there, after the lead and nurture goes, then what we have is Thomas's sales page, which is his signature program, or one of them. He also has this nice little chat widget just to engage with people. So again, just a really nice and clean professional sales page, nicely laid out, really hitting the pain points of his ideal client. And this has been, it's allowed him to not have to stress, not have to focus on trying to make things look good, kind of maybe take a step back and really focus on content, because as a health coach, that's where you can make the biggest impact, is developing content, developing programs, and working with people. From there, again, nice and easy, nice and clean, checkout page. He has a 1-pay, he also has a 4-pay option, everything that you're gonna get. Some social proof on the right. If you have some images and people are willing to give you their picture, that works even better. Video also. Video sells, guys. So like if you can embed video of people speaking on, kindly of you or your program, or maybe it's even you on camera, video is the future of online programs.
People don't like to read, and people don't like to hear. They want to see it in their face. The video is the most engaging way. So whenever there's an opportunity to embed video or video tips or video clips for your program, we highly encourage it.
And then finally, you eventually, after you bought the program, and this is just one of the programs that Thomas has launched, again, really nice and clean thank you page, clear instructions. You'll receive an email soon. Join the private Facebook group. And this is what it's all about, guys. Let me just go back to our slide.
So for the past hour, we were able to show you a blueprint of how your funnel should be structured and how you should have your clients be able to connect and buy. We've shown you how you're able to automate the delivery of your program, always be upselling, how to use the data in the delivery to know whether things are going well, and how to judge where things are. We've shown you how and what to do with the tools, which tools to choose, what the tools do, what tools you need.